Hi, I'm Santosh Apranji from Center for Nanoscience and Engineering, and I'll explain my research in this talk, Snapping Away Cancer with the Infinity Gauntlet of Raman Lasers. If you were to look at the modern day medical applications such as ophthalmology or any of these images shown, and if I told you that there's one single underpinning technology that can encompass them all, and if I asked you to guess the common underpinning technology, the odds are that the last thing you would guess is that this underpinning technology is at the background of this slide. And far less so that this underpinning technology is a fiber laser. Well, yes, be prepared for a shock. What you see in the background is an iridescently glowing setup of multiple fiber lasers in action in my lab. Just like how the lasers are in the background of the slide, so too in the medical community, the laser system is relegated to the background simply because it's just one of the things that is taken for granted to just exist. However, I have a twist here in the story. I don't think it's just a fiber laser here, for I believe that if something too good to be true as this existed, then it would be the Infinity Gauntlet in the Infinity War, replete with all the Infinity Stones. Why? Because the one who wields this Infinity Gauntlet would be the strongest being in this universe. To understand why, I have to tell you what's so powerful about a fiber laser. Let's put things in perspective. The intensity of the sun on the Earth's surface is about 1,000 watts spread over a square meter on Earth. And if you take a garden variety fiber laser, such as the one shown here, which is from my lab, and which is not actually too high a power, this fiber laser gives you around 10 power 14 watts or a square meter of area. And this comes from an optical fiber of diameter 5 micron, which is an order of magnitude thinner than your hair. So just think of something much thinner than your hair carrying an intensity 100 billion times more than that of the sun without burning the fiber. And that in a nutshell is a fiber laser for you. So what makes a laser or any light source for that matter so desirable that it can find use in diverse applications that I showed you earlier? Well, here I have to bring in the analogy of the infinity word, so stay put. Now, if I were Doctor Strange's assistant, Wong, explaining the universe, infinity stones, I would say that at the dawn of the universe, there was nothing, and then boom, the Big Bang sent light hurtling across the virgin universe. Well, the infinity stones of light control each essential aspect of the light source, and these are the spatial stone, the spatial coherence stone, the time stone or the time or pulse duration stone, the power stone, the wavelength stone, the line width stone, and the polarization stone. If you look at any light source, right from your tube light to an advanced laser ignition fusion facility, all of them have these properties. However, you can't use a tube light to get an infrared color at any wavelength, at any brightness, and any pulse duration. That is something which only an advanced fiber laser can do, which is why I allude to a fiber laser as the infinity gauntlet. Imagine how beneficial it would be if you have just one laser system that can give you any power, any wavelength, any pulse, any line width, and any polarization. Well, if such a single light source was built, then with all six tones, we could simply snap our fingers, and all other light sources like tube lights would cease to exist. And we in our lab call that mercy. Well, the bulk of my PhD research involved getting the power stone and the wavelength stone rather than the other stones. And this process is something which we call the Raman fiber lasers. The wavelength stone is what gives wavelength tunability and makes a laser operate at multiple wavelengths. And this wavelength stone holds a special place among the infinity stones, like the soul stone. In order to get new wavelengths, the wavelength stone demands a sacrifice. Uh, it a wavelength for a wavelength, and it does that by taking an already existing high power laser at one wavelength and sacrifices that high power to get to another inaccessible wavelength. That's how a Raman laser operates. So in my research, I matured the field of Raman lasers where I can start with only one wavelength as the input and repeatedly sacrifice that wavelength to get new wavelengths. Now, how is this useful? Well, as I mentioned earlier, these medical fields have so far made great strides by using lasers, but most of them operate with fixed wavelength and power lasers with no tunability. Uh, So in my research, I first built these tunable and power and wavelength lasers and studied their interaction on cancerous and healthy cells, and have obtained very surprising results in the process, which can radically transform the field of radiation therapy and cancer treatment. So what will I do once my Raman laser is clinically implemented in radiotherapy? Well, I'd finally rest. and watch the sun rise on a grateful universe. After all, the hardest choices require the strongest wills. Thank you. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me here at my email address. Thank you.